Hello everybody, this is the HBJ and HBJ TV coming at you 3 days in a row. They're going to be posted 3 days late with another ruck rant. Maybe I'll post all 3 today from this holiday weekend. Maybe I'll post them one day at a time. But I got 3 new videos of bitching. If you're up for bitching. Today's bitch, ruck rant, walk rant. Still ain't got a backpack on yet, but I'll start off by saying, anybody who can kayak, you're the man. So the place that I walk at, Lake Chamonwood or whatever the hell it's called, has kayak rentals. It was open for the first time this weekend. Like I said, they redid this whole place. Download an app, scan the locker that you want to open. Opens up, gives you a kayak, a paddle, and a life jacket. I don't know if it's because I'm a caveman. I don't know if it's because I wasn't trained by Mr. Miyagi, standing on the edge of a boat doing crane kicks. But yeah, the whole time I was in that water, I got on the boat ramp, got all my stuff in. I was like, okay, I got this. I'm gonna go out here today. We're gonna do a row rant. We're gonna rant while we row. Put my backpack in the back, locked it down, because I got a place for it behind the person. And yeah, pushed myself out on the ramp in the water, and the entire time it was rocking heavily back and forth. So, being the calm, overly calm guy that I am, I reassessed, tried to very evenly, very calmly paddle. Got out about 25 feet. Wasn't still too warm, didn't really have that warm and fuzzy. Very slowly turned myself back around, put myself back on the ramp, and exited stage left. The last thing I needed this morning was to flip, go in the water. Not that I mind being in the water. All my shit was on that thing. Would have probably lost my phone, my iPod, my earbuds, my Black Rifle coffee for the day. They don't pay me. They don't sponsor me. It's just the best goddamn coffee you could buy. A veteran-owned company. Go support them. Yeah, I'd have lost all that. And I ain't into that shit. So I returned it. Biggest waste of $25 I ever had, but I'm not dead yet. I will give it another shot at some point. Maybe next summer, when after the body's fully healed and I don't mind falling in the water, or I could just bring my keys and lock them up into something airtight, so that way if something does go in, it'll float back to the top and I won't lose. I'll be able to go back home. But today's rant might spiderweb into a bunch of other rants, but it's how it always works. Everybody stays patient with me. So today's rant's gonna be on the fact that I think sports as a whole, and after watching opening weekend, how's it going? After watching opening weekend of college football, especially my favorite team. We are Penn State, 1-0, beat West Virginia. I feel like this shit's fixed more and more each year, and the way the announcers announce the game doesn't help things. So there was a play during the game, a couple plays actually, but one I'm going to hyper focus on. So West Virginia was going for fourth and 1. Penn State clearly stopped them behind the line of scrimmage. Clearly, I mean, it was clear as day. They showed the replay maybe like 8 or 9 times, and he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage, I don't think. Hold on. Didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage, I don't think. Let alone the yard to gain. So they gave it to him, which was insane, because they showed it from every single angle imaginable and possible, which they give them in the booth. Every announcer said there's no chance this is a first down. It's not even close. It's almost 2 yards away. And they call him the rules expert. Same thing. And Shazam. First down. Now, you have all these angles. You have instant. The whole point of instant replay is to get the calls right. If you're being that blatantly obvious that the guy is 2 yards short of the line, and somehow you're giving this guy an extra 2, god damn, bugs are awful to giving this guy the first down, I mean, you're not even trying to hide it no more. We're going an NFL route. I could cite so many things from last season where the Kansas City Chiefs were just handed plays. Insanely handed plays. Social media is great about grabbing that shit up and posting videos of how bad the refs miss calls. But the point is, god damn, these bugs. Well, I've gone as far as I'm going to go. I'm going to turn around and I'm just going to walk around the lake because the woods today are full of bugs. I'm already tired of getting bit. But yeah, the whole fucking point we have instant replay is to get the call right. Like, be as objective as possible. So that was one of the calls. I want to say the other call was a targeting call. Now, if you know me, I could give a Frenchman's fuck about targeting. Give a Frenchman's fuck about leading with the crown of your helmet. It's football. It's not fucking rock, paper, scissors. It's not rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. It's football. The whole point of football is one team to get the ball into the other team's end zone. And the other team's objective is to keep them out by any means necessary. So, as much as I'm against not being able to hit people, it's the rule. You made it the rule. I don't like the rule. I bitch about the rule, not the play. So, the guy clearly targeted. Hit him with his helmet. So now that they're trying to use semantics in it. Helmet to helmet contact no longer matters. It's you have to use a specific part of the helmet. It's interesting how if, let's say, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, any of the really big schools had a call like that against them, it would just be targeting immediately. Targeting, he hit helmet to helmet on a defenseless receiver, And fuck that rule on defenseless receivers. Seriously. You're a wide receiver. If your quarterback's leading you into the wolf's den, it's your quarterback's fault. It's nobody else's fault. We had a guy, Easy Eddie McCaffrey, in the Denver Broncos, who would go over the middle, and he would take a crack. A lot. It's part of the game, nature of the game. So, that being said, and bitching about that, yes, I don't believe in all that. Yes, I think it's ruining the game of football. Yes, eventually getting rid of kickoffs. Eventually you're just going to have a game where you can only tackle in certain parts of the field, certain parts of the body. You're going to end up having to push people down because you can't actually put hands or helmet on. It's going to be gay. Also, they're going to make people start shoulder tackling people. Then you get guys like Derrick Henry. Good luck with guys like that. He's just going to start murdering defense. How's it going? He's just going to start murdering defenders. So, I mean, just like basketball, everything's geared towards offense now. No defense. Defense's hands are tied behind their back. Can't do shit. Teams like the old Broncos teams that won back-to-back titles with Steve Atwater. The old Ravens teams that won all those Super Bowls and championships. That were built off of, those Steeler teams too. They were just built off of bust your head open defense. Probably would have been an average teams because they're not allowed to tackle. One of my all-time favorite players, Steve Atwater, was known for cracking the fuck out of you, especially if you went over the middle. I wonder if he would have even had a career nowadays. The famous hit he made on Christian Okoye that fucking put his ass down where no one in the league could and everyone was deathly afraid of him. Would that be an illegal hit on a defenseless running back? It's interesting where people say they would draw the line. But, trying to gravitate back towards game being fixed. Both of those were extremely big plays. Not that Penn State lost, but they'd only given up 3 points up to that point. They were deep into their own territory on that 4th and 1 call. And it could have resulted in a touchdown. Could have resulted in crazy momentum, especially being they were on the road. If you heard that, probably a farmer shooting at me. But yeah, it could have meant the whole game, especially being that if you watched the pregame show, it was half and half. These people picking West Virginia to beat fucking Penn State, who gets no respect ever. They could have the old team they had with Kerry Collins, Kajana Carter, Kyle Brady, Bobby Ingram. Probably one of the most stud offenses you've ever seen in your life. And still get no respect. They went undefeated that year and beat the dog piss out of Oregon in the Rose Bowl. And still, they didn't give them the national title. I still call it an asterisk. I think they should. And shit like that's why they came up with the playoff. But, I think that year they would have whooped the shit out of, I think it was Nebraska who won the title and beat Florida, if I'm not mistaken. Penn State would have fucking took the whipping stick out on them. Anyway. Yeah, that could have been huge momentum. And that could have been the season. One-loss teams don't necessarily make the playoffs. I get it, it's expanded this year. but it doesn't mean necessarily that you're in. Everyone says Penn State's got a favorable schedule. They still play. I mean, they're like, oh my God, they don't play Oregon. Oregon's number, 2 or 3 in the nation. They played an awful team this weekend. And until the very end of the game, we're only up by 3. So, maybe it's first game jitters, new quarterback, new system, whatever. Not the same system, but a lot of new players. But maybe they're just not as good as everybody thinks. Maybe they are. Who knows? But if they'd have lost that game, I guarantee there'd have been hell trying to get back into that college football playoff, even if they blew everybody else out by 40 for the rest of the year. So every game counts. Every single game. And if I remember the schedule correctly, we got Ohio State this year. And I'm looking forward to it, being that our coach, James Franklin, does nothing to beat Ohio State and Michigan. I read an article where Nicholas Singleton said he was recruited from other teams to give him NIL money. Penn State's an enormous university. It brings in enormous money. And he said if he wasn't as loyal as he was, he would have went to another school, transferred. And just another example. And let's not get into that whole NIL thing. I don't agree with it. I think it's stupid. I feel like people aren't going to put in the work or try as hard or be as good because they're already making millions of dollars in college, which I feel like a lot of times if you were that good anyways, you did anyways. You still made millions. Boosters still gave you money. But now it's out in the open, so they're getting their grubby hands on even more. I mean, all of human history, you went to college and that was your fucking, you got free college education. 90% of people who go to college don't go pro. Very small percentage. Look how many colleges are out there. Look how many players are in each team. You divide that by how many players get drafted and how many players make the team after they've been drafted. It's a very small number. So for that, they give you a free college education. Guess what? That shit ain't cheap. So they're giving that to you for free. And now you're bitching you want more, you want more. No. And like I said, it's going to make people not give a fuck, not try as hard, not put in the work. When you ain't... there's a Bob Dylan line in one of his songs. When you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose. These players don't even play in the bowl games anymore because they're afraid of getting hurt. I think that's shit. Like, imagine if your team has a chance at a national title. I think this happened last year. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Nope, I am wrong. Correction. Ohio State wasn't in the Final Four last year because Marvin Harrison did sit out the bowl games. But it's just annoying and frustrating. Happens all the time. Like Penn State played Ole Miss last year in the bowl game. It was missing a ton of players. Not that the game really mattered, but it's a bowl game. You're playing Ole Miss. Beat the shit out of them. It was a close game. Lost. But had everyone played, I think we beat them. Could be wrong. Never know. But why not give yourself that chance? And if you're going to get hurt, you could get hurt working out preseason. You could get hurt pre-game warm-ups. You could get hurt at the game. You could get hurt post-game walking off the field. This is what you do. Play football. Play the game. again, like I said, getting off on quite the tangent and rant. But, so, there was that game, and those two plays were pretty big plays. Instead of kicking the field goal for their second field goal off of that missed 4th and 1, they could have got a touchdown. Thank God Penn State's defense stiffened up, and that was that. But the fact that it could have, and the game could have flipped on its head, because after that they had a 3-hour weather delay. The gates of hell opened up, and it thunderstorm and rain like crazy. So, that's that. And then later the night, I turned on the Notre Dame Mississippi State game, and there was a couple questionable calls in that game. I can't remember exactly what they were, but being that I'll always root against Notre Dame because I don't like how they're always treated, given good preseason polls, overrated every single year. They do have a good transfer, that quarterback from Duke. He was good last year. Got hurt, but I don't know how he'll be in Notre Dame. We'll see. I liked the quarterback they had last year. He was pretty good. But yeah, we'll see. They did win. It was a big win on the road, opening night against Mississippi State. But there's a couple missed calls. Don't remember which way they went. Don't remember who got them. But they were pretty egregious. Like, they're not even trying to hide it no more. At least before, it'd be something super razor close that could go either way. And they'll be in that, all you could do is bitch. Maybe I could see the call going either way. Now it's like holy fuck, we have instant replay. You could go frame by frame. Like, there's so many camera angles. How are you fucking this up still? I mean, even in baseball, I know we can't have instant replay on pitches, so I personally don't want to take the human element out of the game. I think that's pushing the line. You got to have it in there somewhere. But some of these guys are fucking awful. That's what I know I'm a Cardinals fan. I know I'm biased, but I was watching an at-bat. How's it going? I was watching an at-bat with Paul Goldschmidt the other day. I know he's having a down year. I know he's not playing up to expectations this year. He's getting older. But he is only 2 years, not last year, but the year before, coming off of an MVP of the whole league season. So, for people to say he's completely done, it's very rare that a guy goes from being MVP of the league to just dog shit. That being said, there was a ball pitch that was at least a foot. It wasn't even close. The pitch track on the TV even showed it was damn near a foot outside. Called strike. Now, when you do that early in the count, now you're thinking you got to protect that pitch because he called it a strike, knowing it's outside, knowing it's not even close. You can ask the ump, is that as far as you're going to go outside? Get his response, or ask him what he saw on that one. It's obviously not going to say he missed the call in front of the catcher, but get his input. Well, so now Goldie's protecting. Guy throws a slider. It goes away from Goldie. It's outside now. He feels he has to protect. A foot outside the plate. Swings at a bad pitch. And then he gets rung up. I get it. Goldie's been rung up a lot this year, but when you're already behind the ball because you're getting shit calls like that, it don't help. Haven't watched a lot of hockey lately. St. Louis Blues fan. I don't know. I just don't like the dismantling of the team after the Stanley Cup, the way the ownership has done that team. And it's hard to watch. I'm still a fan. I watch when I can. I just don't go out of my way to watch games. But I'm on the bridge. We're going to sign off with the Ruck Rant. If you want, start watching some games and see for yourself what you think. If you think things are fixed or not. Just little things. It's not even big calls usually. It's little calls that they know they can get away with. This is the HBJ. This is Ruck Rant. Monday, Memorial Day. Out.